And I'm like, who's Kip? Hey, we're live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Supper Club
Welcome to the
on
Supper
this
Club.
hot Friday.
It's hot. We're outside.
Can't see me. Uh-oh. I don't know. But how everybody doing on this Friday?
We're
Uh,
at the first Idlewild Carnival.
yeah, first day of the Outer Wild Carnival. It's been exciting. Um,
The carnival?
the carnival, yeah, well, no, the whole week. First of all, how was your week?
Oh my God. I feel like I say this every week, but
Well,
how did we get here?
right.
Oh, wait. Let me see. We're in another location, so I'm already like, my flow, mute you, mute this. My week was good, but it was like packed and hectic, and I'm
Okay.
ready to smoke this bowl with you
Okay.
and chop it up
Okay.
Where am I sitting?
Right
right
here?
in the middle. How was your week?
It was good.
Yeah.
I had a good week.
Good.
I'm excited about the carnival being here.
Yeah. This is
Um,
super cool. And we have the director of the carnival about to,
yeah,
or organizer.
we have the young lady that's responsible for putting everything together and just putting it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and I think the community really loves it, even though the community hasn't turned out like we wanted them to.
Where they at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where they at? You know.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Greetings. I'm Lionel Shabazz. I am a native of Idlewild. My family was born and raised in Idlewild, and we're here. We've never stopped coming, um, and I am the coordinator of the first annual Idlewild Carnival and Family Fun Festival. Yes.
How long has your family been coming?
We're natives. We were born and raised here. Yeah, we were born and raised in Idlewild.
But I mean, you're first generation, second generation?
We would be the second generation. Yeah, second generation.
That's awesome. And what gave you the idea for the carnival? When did it? How did it all happen?
Well, the
Right.
carnival really has been an idea probably from I say about 15 years ago when I went to the first Trottorama when I was of age. I'm sorry. The Blessing of the Bikes.
Okay.
Above it. So after the Blessing of the Bikes, my family, we traveled together. Like my family is here. Some came in last night, some others they're already like we travel in a big pack, so everybody's coming. So first time I went to the Blessing of the Bikes, after the Blessing of the Bikes was over, there was no acknowledgement of my grandfather.
Okay.
And so I asked my mom, I said, well, Mama, they didn't acknowledge granddaddy. My grandfather started the Blessing of the Bikes.
Oh wow. Okay.
My grandfather,
Now, how long actually has the blessing been going on? What
And,
year was the first blessing of the bikes?
and what was your grandfather's name?
my grandfather was Reverend Ellis Davis. He was the pastor of Christ Community Church. That's where the Blessing of the Bike started. And it started when my mother was a teenager, so it's been that long. And so what happened was, I was extremely disappointed to hear that there was no acknowledgement of Granddaddy.
Okay.
So how the Blessing of the Bike started is because with Christ Community Church, the bikers would come into town and they wouldn't have anywhere to sleep. And they would be hungry. They wouldn't have anywhere to bathe and things of that nature. So my grandfather and my grandmother would let them sleep in the church. They would let them shower. We had a pantry, so they would give them, clothes and things or whatever. Let them shower, and then when they rolled off the next morning, my grandfather would pray over their bikes.
Oh, wow.
That's how the Blessing of the Bike started.
Okay.
And so when the pastor of I believe it was the Catholic church down in Baldwin, allegedly was collaborating with my grandfather to be on a larger property. They were supposed to join together,
Okay.
but really became a takeover. He wasn't looking to join together. He was looking for it to be on his property, and he owned it and operated, which that wasn't supposed to be the case. But my grandfather, being the mild tempered pastor that he wasn't going to.
Okay. So can I assume that Baldwin took it over?
Of course, there's no
Okay.
assumption. Let's just be
Okay.
realistic.
Okay.
There's
That's
no
what. That's
assumption.
what. You know.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so,
Hey, Ellen. Hey, Steve.
with the
Hey, Alan.
and so with that information, me being the person that I am, when I heard that information, I said, "What?"
Right.
I
Right.
said, "Wait a minute, hold on." And so now we're at the airport where the blessing of Vice is taking place, and I'm like, so wait a minute, me, the granddaughter, with me being the person I am, I said, no, this information must be known. It must be known because it would appear to me that the Blessing of the Bikes is a white organization and they started it.
Right.
By any means, they did not. They did not.
They weren't the originators.
No, they were not.
Dang.
By any means, they were not.
Right.
And so once that came about, then they were talking about the Troutorama. And so when the Troutorama came about, and then so many people were complaining about the carnival. Well, there's one or two rides and this and other. And so I said, well, why doesn't Idlewild have their own carnival?
Right. I thought that too.
And
you
we
were-
all thought.
yeah.
We all wondered that.
And well, and you were saying also though, and a bunch of other people, that the island used to feel like a carnival.
Yeah.
I
Because
think we talked
at one
about,
time,
yeah.
when you came through Williams Island, it was shooting galleries. Everything was right there. So it was like a carnival every day
Yeah.
on Williams Island.
So here's how this happens. We, Black folks in Idlewild, I'm new, but my family did visit back in the day. Black people are culture makers.
Right.
We make amazing things, and then white people steal it. But the way that they do it is
Smooth.
smooth. It's
A thief
this
is
is
a thief.
no. This is how
Right.
it becomes structural.
Mhm.
They're able to write up their ideas that they took from Idlewild and get funding for it.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's
Exactly.
the difference.
Exactly.
And then suddenly it's like Idlewild, and at the same time, we're getting funding pulled from us, like individually. You know,
Exactly.
that's like unemployment or low pay jobs.
Right.
So and that's how we started everything,
Right.
because there was a solid working class community of Black people in America, and they put their, not just their money, but our knowledge,
And
our skill, like all the skilled trades, family members. My whole block was built by the Poindexter family, and they, Catherine Poindexter, who owned my house, was a teacher during the year, and she paid her family member probably, a family price, but they built all these houses together.
Right.
They weren't super wealthy, but now I'm a teacher, trying to do the same thing, and it is hard because we're not getting, because of inflation, we're not getting paid as much. And our family members that knew these skills, that know these skills, my little brother's visiting and he's trained as a plumber. Everyone's burnt out. No one has the extra energy to be like, yeah, let me come up and I'll put plumbing in for you, and then on the weekends we can chill. We can, they were doing fireside.
Well, see, and that's where the problem begins right there.
Right.
Because you cannot, I'm 50 years old. You cannot get tired. We are not just the culturalists, we're the innovators. It's not in our DNA from who we are from ancient Kemet, from where we come from. It's not in our DNA to get tired. We've taken on that lazy mentality that are of other cultures. That's never been our culture.
It's not lazy.
No, I said a lazy mentality.
No.
Well, when you sleep off, when you sleep until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, tell me what that is.
That's laziness.
That's the and see, and we have to call it like it is. We can either be a realist or we can make it. We can try to pretty it up, but you can't pretty up because let me tell you, that's not what other cultures do. That's not what other races and other nationalities of people do. They make it happen. And trust me when I tell you, they are not smarter than us. This gentleman right here, this is the strongest, the most creative, the most loving, the most wisest species on this planet is the melanated man.
Thank you.
No, it's the truth. But exactly. It is the truth. I'm speaking truth from Africa.
Right.
I'm speaking truth from the real Mayans.
Right.
And so once they get it back together, because all the strength lies in them. We're the backbone.
No.
Talk to me.
Talk
to me.
I mean,
That's
no,
why.
hold on.
That's
Let
why
her
they
finish.
say.
You said no.
That's
I
why
want to hear this. No, please tell me.
That's why they say, behind every black man is a good woman.
There you have it.
The thing that one of the big things that I believe happened that is really harming the Black community is the belief sexism is the same as racism. Sexism is where Europeans trained to create the slave trade.
Right.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Where what?
Sexism is what the tool that Europeans used to train to be able to do the slave trade. When Africa colonized Europe and created Athens and Greece, the retaliation, like 1,000 years later, was the fact that women in Europe, white women, found out that there were places you could go where they weren't being treated like trash.
Right.
Where you could go to school and learn to do whatever you wanted.
Right.
Where you could have agency over your land and your body and like live a life. They're all like connecting. They're like, oh yeah, the witches are on that same thought line, and they were all getting murdered. And this that was like the first step in Europeans taking over and pushing out the Islamic Empire, the Ottoman Empire. And then the next step after that, they started translating all of the documents that they brought from all over the world. And all of a sudden, the scientific revolution happened. And you can find there's a philosopher named Al-Jahiz. He has books. It's called the Book of Animals, where he talks about everything that Darwin talked about only 1,000 years before. And he's an East African man who moved to the Middle East to traveled the whole world.
Okay, so when I speak of the woman, us,
I'm saying we all need to be behind each other. It doesn't matter what your body looks like.
but it does matter. It does matter.
It matters in ways that aren't about power and control of other people.
But there must be power and there must be control. So
Well-
I am. See, one of the things we had our first of all, we set the standard
Thanks, Steve.
for everything because we had our own everything.
Mm-hmm.
They learned. We first of all,
But what
take it-
I'm saying, all I'm saying is, if anyone's in control and in power here, it is women. And the problem that we're having right now,
Hold on.
the problem that we're having right now is we've been in a period where men aren't getting behind their women.
no, I'm gonna disagree with that.
Nikki
Men aren't
Giovanni said it.
supposed- but we're talking realistic. Men aren't supposed to be behind their women.
No.
That right there becomes the problem because that's that modern mentality.
It's not modern. It is not modern. There's a book, Barracoon,
Okay,
by
let's
Laura
not
Neil
talk.
Hurston.
Let's not talk
Do we
books.
res-
That,
do
let's
we-
not talk books that most people probably haven't even read. Let's talk logic and reality.
But
But hold on, dear. Hear me out. What I'm saying is that support us. I do agree. Our men are supposed to support us. I wholeheartedly agree. But be behind us. That's where the problem is becoming because this is the reason why.
But you just said okay.
No. But you're
I
not.
just want to add something.
Okay.
If you're gonna say that, then please also
If I'm going to say
explain
what, you said that. What part?
the behind, getting behind.
But I was about
because
to.
you said women should be behind men.
We should.
So
We
just,
should- I'm not
just tell
contra-
me
I'm
what
not-
the
I'm-
difference
I'm
is.
not
Tell me
contradicting-
why that's okay
But hold
and
on,
the
dear.
other way is not okay.
I'm not contradicting myself by any means at all, but you just have to hear me out. What I'm stating is that when the welfare system came into place, they gave black women welfare and assistance, but in order to get that assistance, we had to get our black man out the house.
Y'all have to excuse me for a moment.
So we
Okay.
couldn't have our man in the house. So then, when they took our man out the house, they gave the black woman the higher paying jobs, the education, the control, the power to be over the black man. And now that gave a lot of women that mentality of, oh, I don't need no man, I'm above him. We are not above. We are not. The creator did not make us to be above our men. So to your point of what I was saying, 'cause like I said, by no means did I contradict myself. I said what I meant. So we are supposed to we're ladies. We have that feminine energy. We're supposed to be the
I'm
nurturers
not
of
a
our
lady.
men. Okay, we're supposed to nurture the men. We're the nurturers. They're the strength. So they too are supposed to support us wholeheartedly, but they're not supposed to stand behind us and let us lead. That's not how the creator created us. That's where your women feminists, that's where the women liberation groups, they all came in and wanted to say, okay, just like the civil rights movement. The white women came in and jumped on our bandwagon. They weren't fighting for our rights. They were fighting for rights for them in order to be able to do the things that their men did. I don't want to do the things that my man does. I let my man be my man. And I am the woman, and I stay in my lane, and I do what women were created to do. And that's not
what is
lead
that?
my man.
what
That's
are
to be
women
the
created
that
to do?
we are created to stay at first and foremost to be in our feminine energy and support our man, support our family, raise our children, feed our men and our children and our communities the right food that I haven't eaten meat in 20 years. So we are supposed to do the necessary things to keep our community healthy. We're not supposed to be trying to challenge our men and do the things that our men are, the
But I'm
things
saying,
that they're doing.
I'm just asking, what are the like, is this a difference in labor? Is this a difference in just energy?
Of
Tell
course,
me,
of
tell
course,
me,
there's
like,
a difference in
what are
labor.
what are the jobs?
It's not about jobs. It's about knowing who you are. I am not by any means, and I say it loud and I say it proud. I'm not going out and cutting any grass. I can do it, absolutely. I'm not taking trash out of my home. I can do it,
Yeah.
but that is what my man and my sons do. Okay, I'm not going out to build additions onto my home. I'm not doing those things. I let my man be my man and I let them do what they do.
That's
So,
literally what I'm doing right
okay,
now.
okay, but those are things, just because something can be done doesn't mean it should be done.
And why is that?
Because me personally, I'm not trying to do the things that my man, I don't have the strength for that, first of all. I don't have the strength to do those things. And I'm not trying to get the strength to do those things. That's
So
not what I
but
do.
I'm saying, what happens if you want to do those things?
Then you do those things. I take out trash sometimes, of course. But am I going to do it on a regular basis when my man is home? Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. Because see, what we as women fail to realize is that when we try to do everything and we want to take all the responsibility from my man, then they feel, okay, so what do you need me for? See, that's why women have to understand men. They like to be men. They like to be men. But when we want to step up and we want to grab the hammer and they're trying to grab the hammer and we all know I can do it myself, a man, see, I was raised with my father. I was raised with my uncles. I was raised with my brothers. I have my whole life always just been around real men.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what a real man looks like. And when women really step back and stop trying to be in the man's space and ask to learn, because women, they tend to think they know, and then we take so much away from our men, when the same thing with a lot of men. They don't want to ask us certain things, and that's where you have a huge breakdown in communication.
What are the things they don't want to ask?
Who doesn't want to ask?
Men.
Men don't want to ask a lot of things, just like women don't want to ask a
But
lot
I mean,
of things.
like, I like specifics. I'm autistic.
Okay, and I'm a Virgo Libra, and I'm very analytical.
I'm a
I like
Taurus.
I like very
I'm passionate
specifics as well.
and stubborn.
So, but at the same time, when we talk about coming together, because that's what actually
No.
Go ahead.
I want you to answer the other question.
What was the other questions?
What are the specific, like, I want to break down your world, and just so I understand what the rules are. Like, why is it encouraged? Why would you encourage us to get behind anyone? Why would you want?
Because I need support. Anyone who thinks they can do something on their own and be successful at it with no support, that's a little interesting. Show me one that did it. I need support from my man. I want support from my man.
Well, everyone needs support from somebody.
So, but you just said, well, why would we want to get behind from somebody? Because we need each other.
But then you said women should not be getting behind men. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's what you wanted to say. I don't think that's what you wanted to say. Women shouldn't be getting behind their men.
Men shouldn't be getting behind women.
That's what I said. I said,
right. So I don't see the difference. If you need support, everyone needs support. Men need support. It all shifts.
And we both agree. We both agree.
Women need support.
We both agree. We've never.
So why don't we support each other?
We've never said that was inadequate. Absolutely.
I just don't understand how you get, like, I feel you, but I don't get the difference. Why does it need to be gendered?
Because there is a head. There is a head. And so modern now is that because And I'll take you back to when I said the whole shift, when they took the black man out of our homes and they gave us the money, the jobs, the education to make us feel that we were above our men. So now we think we're superior over our men. That's not how the creator created us to be. Because I'll ask you this. Now let's keep it all the way 100 now. If someone comes into your home, you and your male spouse is in the bed and someone kicks that door in, who's supposed to get up? Who's supposed to be the protector?
Whoever's able.
Whoever is able.
Yes.
Okay,
So you think-
elaborate on able
So,
to me.
not to cut you off.
Yeah.
So you think if somebody break in your house, that woman should get up and jump and go get that gun?
Whoever is like paying it, if
See, that's not realistic to me.
if
No,
the other
come on,
person's sleeping,
it's not
Sleeping,
realistic to me.
sleeping.
y'all,
My
What?
man, somebody
you're
kicks
just
the
gonna
door.
sit there. What
My
are you gonna do?
no.
You're gonna take the
No.
time to wake someone else up.
You're gonna take the time to let your man sleep.
No, but I'm saying if you,
I'm listening.
if there's an emergency situation, whoever arrives first does their best until someone else that is more capable arrives on the scene.
But that
I
wasn't
happen to
that
be
wasn't
a-
my question.
I happen to be a first responder
Okay.
for the last 20
Okay.
years.
Okay. So if someone kicks my door in at our home and my man is there sleeping, there is no way, first of all, he wouldn't even want me to jump up and go try to deal with the emergency. My man wouldn't even want that.
Wow.
He is the protector. He is the protector.
Alan Hugabuck says it's the traditional family structure. I'm the king of the castle. Don't you give me no hassle.
That's going on a t-shirt.
Oh.
And see, and that's where we get so disconnected, because you have this modern day woman now that we've been made into be. I'm not a modern day woman. I'm a traditional woman.
You're a traditional.
I'm a traditional woman.
Colonial woman.
I'm a traditional woman
A traditional
who is going to
colonized woman.
allow. Okay, I'm going to see. My studies go very, very, very deep.
So do
So
mine.
we can't say colonize, but at the same time,
Why can't we say that?
okay, that label doesn't go for me. So what I'm saying is that the bottom line is I want to stay with the understanding of the head of the household, and the man is the head of the household. I'm not over my man. I'm not trying to be over my man by any means.
That's great. But what I'm letting you know is that's the colonized mindset. The African traditional mindset is, as Zora Neale Hurston documented in Barracoon, which is her interviews with the last cargo from Africa in Africa Town, which was built in the South. He talked about the traditional African structure that he missed and longed for, in which if he was successful enough, his wife was in charge and would find other women to join their family structure. And he said the reason it was just what everyone did. The first wife was the head of the family.
Where was it? Have you ever been to Africa?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Egypt?
No.
Okay, so you're telling me that in Africa, in our history of where we come from, you're stating on your podcast that the woman, African structure is what you just said, traditional African structure, what the woman was the head?
That's right.
Okay.
Carve it in stone.
Okay.
Yes.
I would
And
never
we
carve
hear it-
anything
we
in stone
hear-
that's inaccurate.
We
That's
hear
very
it
inaccurate.
repeated. You can hear it in Sojourner's Truth's speech on women's suffrage movement when white women abandoned black women in order to win the Southern vote. And she talked about the difference.
White women abandoned black women.
Yes, my family actually, because I'm also related to Susan B. Anthony. And she decided, they wrote letters about it, to separate themselves from black women so that they could get favor from Southern white women who just wanted to have more money.
This is what I'm going to offer to you.
And this is why white feminism is all about hitting the glass ceiling, doing better at work, being in control. It's not about control. It's about supporting each other no matter what.
This is what I'm going to offer to you, and then we can move forward. I would like to bring historians, true historians. We're not talking books. I would like to bring facts and truth. I would like to have another podcast.
Are there no facts in books?
I'm going to bring. See, there's a couple different ways we can reword things to try to manipulate the wording, but that's not what I'm here for. So I would like to have another podcast where I bring various historians, world-known historians, onto your show, and I want you to state those things that you just said. As far as I'm going to make it happen for you, and I can make some phone calls right now. I'm going to put it together for you so we can get some clarity on on certain things.
I would love that,
because if we were to ever promote it, it would be a disrespect to our ancestors to ever promote that women in ancient Africa, ancient Kemet, where we originated from, where all humanity originated from, that women were the heads. That's a disrespect.
So wait a minute. See, when I was my little leaving, I missed a lot of stuff. Yeah. So let me try to catch up. So Lydia, you saying
Danny, you missed the wildest few minutes.
Okay, but you're saying that
she said in Africa culture, women were the heads.
No, from what I'm not no historian. I haven't read a lot of books. But from what I learned as a child to where I am now, the man is the head of the household.
Right.
The man is the king, just like Alan Archibald said. The man is the king of his castle. The man is the leader, and the woman is there to back him up.
Yep.
Now, where you come, Lydia, with that, I don't know. And I gotta. I mean, we cool, we tight, baby. But I gotta disagree with you on that.
It's not even fact. It's not even logical.
No, not
even logical.
Maybe back then, but not now.
It wasn't even logical back then, because if it was, we never would be where we are. Are you trying to tell me that when those pyramids, but no one that has traveled over there can't even remotely recreate them? Are you telling me that women built those? Absolutely not. The man is the head. He is the head. So like I said, I don't like to talk around in circles. I like to make facts and make truth.
Right.
I am going to bring true historians onto your podcast, and we're going to do those things. And see, Google is not a research tool for me, because we got to remember who Google is ran by. So let's keep it all the way real.
Right. Oh my gosh.
That's why we must travel. We must travel for truth.
I have traveled. I've circumnavigated the globe.
I never said you didn't.
I worked with Desmond Tutu.
I never said that you didn't.
I can show you a letter of recommendation.
But you're showing me on Google.
No.
You just put it up on Google.
I'm pulling up Sojourner Truth's speech.
You just put it up on Google. Speeches,
you gotta see what she's saying, Lydia, and I understand what she's saying.
That's just
this world now is so dependent on Google.
Oh my gosh!
Instead of
which Google was created when?
Ooh,
I don't know when it was created, but I know it was created by a white man.
There you have it. How old is Google?
I don't know.
I have never met. Actually,
how old is Google? You can search it up. How old is Google?
Oh, I don't trust Google.
You just jump in.
but you
I'm making a
contradicting what
joke,
you're
Danny.
saying, though,
Okay,
Lydia.
so
I'm making a
let's
joke.
talk about the carnival.
I'm
So-
making a joke.
So going back to the carnival.
We all for that.
So-
we go because
So
yeah.
going back to the carnival.
No, wait.
The question was
First,
hold
how
on.
was
Marsha Henderson said,
Don't true historians write books? What is a true historian? What is
That's
a
you.
true historian is a person that has traveled this world, goes to the archaeologists, goes to the archives, goes to the different museums, travels, and they actually get facts from all around the world. They study them and they bring them all together
and not off Google?
and not off Google.
that's literally what I did this summer. I went
And-
to Austria,
and some of them have
Germany,
dedicated their
Ohio.
lives, but they have dedicated, and I'm not going to bring you anyone on the show that's only done this for a summer. Are
Homie,
you familiar
I'm
with
38 years old.
okay,
Yeah, but
and I'm 50, so what does that mean?
Why are you treating me like a baby?
she's not treating you like a baby,
sorry?
Lydia.
Yeah, you said you've only done something for a summer.
No,
That's an assumption. Is it not?
no, Lydia.
When did I say
no.
you only did? I'm sorry, dear. Are you not? You can't hear me from your headphones or something?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I didn't say you did. I don't know how long you did something. What are you speaking of? I
So
said
Lydia,
tell
so
me,
Lydia,
explain-
so Lydia,
explain
you
what
saying
you're saying.
you're a historian?
Yes.
How are you? What makes you a historian?
I research history.
And how
I
you
study
research it
it.
off of Google?
No, that's what I'm saying. I went to an archive this summer.
Okay, you went
I
to
went
an
to
archive.
Vienna and I talked to other historians
You went to an
about
archive.
history.
Listen, you went to an archive. You read a book or seen some shit they had on a recording. You didn't actually go to Egypt, Africa, and go and
I
experience.
went to South Africa.
But
I went to India.
so-
I went to Brazil.
and what did you do there?
I researched.
What did you research?
I listened and I paid attention.
So that caused. So now you can call yourself a historian.
Yeah.
Okay, but a historian on what subject?
On everything.
Because you went to wherever you said you
On
went.
whatever you experience. You pay attention.
so. As I was stating, as I was stating that Dr. Claude Anderson. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with Dr. Claude Anderson?
Nope.
Okay. Are you guys familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson?
Nope.
These are the individuals that I would love to bring onto the show to have this particular topic, but that's not what this podcast was for.
No.
And
no.
we're
It
really
is what it
we're
was
really
for.
getting off topic, and I just want to keep it. I want to stay extremely respectful because I would never use curse words at you. I would never do that. I would never disrespect you like that. So let's talk back about the carnival. So the question was, how did the idea of the carnival come about? And so, as I was stating, is that I heard the community complaining about the Troutorama. And I said, okay, so what I'm going to do is give Idlewild their own carnival. And so that's how the carnival, pretty much the idea came about. And so I was also told, I did a lot of research on the carnival. I communicated with the coordinators of the Troutorama. They sent me their information and things of that nature. And so everyone, and I've never been, so I can only listen to you guys.
Right.
There were like 3 or 4 rides or something. They were all kiddie rides. So I wanted to make all the wrongs right. So that's why you see over 12 rides here.
Right.
That's why you see adult rides. You see teenage rides, because if we're talking about we're going to give back to the community is not in its totality 8 years old and under. What about the 16 and the 17-year-olds? What are they going to do?
Right.
So this is why I made it my business to make sure that there was something here for. That's why it's called a family festival. So that's where the idea
Well,
came
I
from.
tell you, from the community, we welcome you here, and I'm glad you did it.
Thank you.
because that's what Ottawa needs. And you know, I've been saying this ever since we
I
started
wish
this
you were here longer.
I've been saying this ever since this podcast that
Did he meet me?
they
Hold on,
have
step,
to
step back, step back, step back.
we have to
Did he meet me?
stop saying what we're gonna do and do it.
Hmm.
Did you
And
guys do any more
I
changes?
have to congratulate her. She did it.
Yeah,
She brought the first ever carnival to Ottawa. So I applaud her on
I
that.
applaud her. She
You know.
she did do it.
She did.
She did.
Now she can go down in history
Yeah, she did do
as far
it.
as Ottawa is concerned.
You hear this? You
You know
hear
what
what's
I'm saying?
happening here?
You know,
And-
so I commend her on that because this is and you know, the community talked to me. I talked to the community, and the community said, "Oh shit, we just rolled by there, and this big damn Chaturama."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah,
Would you get
But-
behind that, Danny?
would I get behind what?
The
What-
project?
The project of what? Bringing it here.
Mm-hmm.
As far as getting it here, and well, that's already
You
been
already did it.
accomplished.
The podcast is here.
Right.
Of
And
course.
we here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I get behind it.
Of course.
Okay.
You know
It's
what I'm
already
saying?
done.
Now,
Yeah, so we're all in agreement.
yeah, that we're
Great.
glad it's here.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
then there's situations where you might think it's cool to get behind a woman.
look.
That's all.
That's,
I'm done. I'm sorry.
that's a whole nother subject.
And so
It's
going
not.
back to the carnival, in
Carnival now,
addition,
Lydia.
in addition, yesterday
Ugh.
we had the ribbon cutting, we had the balloon release, and I am a Garveyite to the core, and so we brought all the seeds. I want to make sure I get it right. Seeds for change. If I said that name incorrectly, please forgive me. But they brought the youth out. They brought the children out. We did the red, black, and green because that's what we represent is the red, black, and green flag wholeheartedly. Our colors, that's what we represent. So we did that. We did the red, black, and green ribbon. It was supposed to be a ribbon cutting, but I wanted all of the children to have an opportunity. So we did a ribbon ripping. And then we released
The balloon.
red, black, and green balloons. We paid honor to our ancestors, the freedom fighters that came before us, and our the universe, the creator, for Idlewild. For
Well,
Idlewild.
well, I'll tell you this, and I'm a little pissed off. I'm not pissed off I'm pissed off at my community. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because my community bitch so much about not having this for Ottawa and not having that for Ottawa. You got a carnival here in Ottawa. I mean, come on now. Where's the community at?
Yeah.
And that's one thing, I say, it's another thing I say, our podcast. As a community, we got to come together more. I'm not saying support everything, but when a black person or any person tries to do something positive for Ottawa, whether you feel is right or wrong, support it.
Mhm.
Because I don't know about them, but I'm for my community. I'm for
Yeah.
Ottawa.
But I
I wouldn't
think
say
it's
support it.
important. I think it's important to hold people accountable in appropriate ways.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say I agree with you, but I'm going to agree to disagree to agree.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm not going to support anything that I think is wrong. I'm not going to do that, even if it is someone within my community. But
Right.
what I will say is this: if someone is coming in doing something for your community, get an understanding. See, one of the missing links with us is the lack of communication because people don't want to talk
Yeah.
and get clarity.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to talk about the issue that came up yesterday with the cost, because and I want to be as transparent with Idlewild. I like to put everything out on the table. Let's
Well,
talk about that.
I do have to say something, and I don't know if you watch my podcast, but I keep it real, and
Thank you.
I have to be honest, and I'm gonna be honest with you. On one of your flyers, it has it's free.
Can you show me that flyer?
I don't have it,
Is it the one you texted me?
but on one of them,
Let me see.
it is free.
Okay. Let me pull up every flyer that we've ever produced. Now, I did, I can't recall who called me and said that the they had a flyer that said the tickets, I'm sorry, the wristbands were $10. I said the same thing.
I ain't never seen.
Show me the flyer.
I ain't never seen one that said it was $10. Each flyer I read, it was $20 and $25.
And you said you keep it real, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna show you what real is.
Okay.
This is our. This is our. This is our gallery of all the flyers. You have free will to go through all of the flyers. If there is a flyer on here, you see all this? If there's a flyer on here that says free, consider it done. I'm not in the business of contradicting myself. So if there's something that we missed, let's correct it. If there's an error that my team made, let's correct it. Okay. So here are all of the flyers, starting right here. If there's a flyer in here that says free, let's make everything free. Well, to me, it's just that simple.
Hold on. Let me clarify when I say free.
Yeah.
Free to enter.
Okay.
I'm not saying the rides are free.
I get that. No, not at all. We're talking the carnival. So like I said, this is the whole gallery of all of the flyers. So like I said, if there is a flyer in here that says interest is free.
Well, I don't.
Maybe someone edited
I said
it.
like,
not at all. We have
it.
one team. Everything goes through all of us before it hits the air. There is no other person to do that. So that's impossible. So,
well, I did, and honestly, because I don't speak nothing unless I've seen it. And last night, a young lady texted me a flyer.
If she texted, you should have it.
Did she text
Here's your
me?
phone.
Yeah. Did she text me?
Like I said, if we made an error, not a problem. I will make an announcement right there. It's all free. I have no problem with that. But that's just something that I'm not aware of. And here's the entire gallery of all of the advertisements.
No, she didn't.
But I do think
whoever it was, if they can produce the flyer, if they can produce the flyer, I'm all for it. To me, it's just that simple. Because if you're going to say you're going to do something, be a woman of your word and be a man of your word. And if that flyer said free, then they can take down all of the parking signs and everybody will be free to get in. I have no problem with that.
I do think one thing that everyone could do better, myself included, is
the young lady wants you to know if the community leaves, they have to come back. The answer is no.
No, do you have to pay to come back?
Pay to come back. Answer is no.
If you, I think we all need to do a better job of coordinating with each other and putting our resources together. I don't think we need any more events.
Why?
We already
any
have
more events to do what?
We're saturated with events.
You call it saturated?
I do. And what I'm seeing.
Not to cut you off, this ain't shit compared to how Ottawa used to be in the 50s.
But what I'm saying is,
and 40s.
There's not the population to sustain it right now.
It's more people here now than it was back then.
No, there's not.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. So when you say it's not the population to sustain what though?
I'm not done yet. So, like last weekend was Summer Oasis. There were tons of people that came up for that. That would have been a cool thing to be like, hey, what if we added a carnival? If you have kids, they'll have something to do in the daytime. Instead of having, because there was I think last Saturday, there were like 4 events in each day. I mean, and it was Idlewild week last week.
But you have.
That would have been a great time to have, so I'm not saying stop doing things. I'm saying let's coordinate them better. Let's so that because parents need to bring their kids, they need to know ahead of time. People are working like 3, 4 jobs, you know.
You
Okay.
can't have events around what time people get off and what time they go to work.
No, I'm saying
I mean, and the more
if they
events,
know
the more events you have in Ottawa is better. I
for
mean,
who.
the events that goes on every year that's been going on,
Mhm.
like your Ottawa Week, your Ottawa Parade.
Yeah,
Those
I'm
other events are put on by groups.
right.
So what are you saying?
But
Every
there's
weekend just have one thing going on?
no,
No.
I'm saying talk to each other more so that we like Erica Tate's done a great job of doing their best to get all the events they know about on a summer schedule. I'm saying that's a great step. But then we have on top of that other events, you know, like a carnival, which is awesome, but people didn't know ahead of like much. I only found out about
But
it.
she's been advertising this for months.
I didn't know about it.
Okay, well, we can't go by you because you're not on Facebook or you're not in the community
I am
to
in
see
the
about.
community.
Evidently, you're not involved, but you're not out and about.
I'm not on Facebook all the time because
Okay,
I'm trying to build my house.
and you're not out in the community
and
all
I'm
the time.
researching.
So,
Okay.
And I am
So,
like
so
I'm just
first
saying,
and foremost, let's talk business.
I'm just I was
We
just giving a
cannot. We
suggestion.
cannot. I did not set the schedule. There were 2 dates.
right.
We have to go amongst the schedule. Let me take it a step back. We've been planning the Idlewild Carnival for a year.
Okay.
We were told by 8 carnival companies that they do not service black people.
Oh, really?
8 carnival companies told us they do not service black
They
people.
literally told you we don't serve
Literally and figuratively.
Do you have
black.
it in writing?
Wow.
I'm sorry?
Ain't
Do
that
you
a
have it in
lawsuit?
writing?
Okay, so when you say
Get that documentation.
when you say do I have it in writing?
Yeah.
How is that even possible if we were on the phone?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
You
they
could have been
told us.
emailing.
No. They told us that they do literally and figuratively,
Wow.
meaning that in words, yes, they did, and then roundabout they said it. So one company was so bold and blatant to say, "Well, did y'all get the permission from? Did y'all get their permission?" We were in our team meeting. The carnival company was on the conference, and he said, "Well, did y'all get their permission?" And one of my assistants said, "Well, what do you mean? Well, did y'all get their permission to have a carnival?"
Whose permission?
Exactly. We said, "Who?" And well, when you have carnivals, and that's when I said, no, don't deflect. Let's go back to what you just stated because I just need clarity. You said, did we get their permission? Who is they? And so he tried to deflect again,
The township, maybe?
and one of the other our other colleagues said, "Bro, answer the question. Stop dancing." He said, you asked the question, did we get their permission? Who is they? And he says, did y'all call Baldwin and get Baldwin's permission to have a carnival in Idlewild?
Oh, they got us
Those
fucked
were
up.
his exact words. Those were his exact words. Did we call Baldwin to get Baldwin's permission to have a carnival? I said, last we checked, we didn't have to get permission from anybody at all. I said, the carnival will go on with or without you. So we're just simply calling to get rates and things of that nature. He says, well, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to service you. And we said, no problem. And my other team members were, I said, no, that's a waste of breath. The man just said what he said. Take it for what it's worth. Let's move forward.
Because I didn't say, I'm not going to say I just found this out, but a person made me realize that if you're doing something and a person is not for it or whatever, and you keep arguing with that person, you're wasting that time on that person when that time on that wasted on that person can be spent on the project that you trying to put together.
But I will say I did want to hear. I just wanted to hear what his they was.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Well, that's just like when they come to the beach and they say, we tell them to get the dog out the water, and all of a sudden it's you people. Who the fuck is you people?
Well,
who is you people?
Well, we know who you people
But
are.
we all know. We all know.
Exactly.
But let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Are you going to bring this carnival back next year?
This is an annual. This is the first annual,
See,
and
that's what I'm talking
and
about.
this is the thing, and this is the very key point of where you and I had our disagreement on yesterday.
Right.
We had a disagreement on the cost. The $5 to get in, $5 per person, $5 to get in, $1 per person. So we had a group of whites that came last night. They stayed here, they drank the beer, they were at the beer tent, they had a great time. They had zero problem. And they said it was foolishness that the community even remotely complained about paying anything to get in.
Right.
So I want to make it very clear to people, for the audience to know, the audience of Idlewild, on those flyers, it says all proceeds are going to the Brick Walk Path, the Summer Wishing Well, and the Winter Ice Skating Park. So what we are doing is just that. All of the proceeds from the carnival, first of all, we pay for the carnival up front.
Right. Okay.
Our own money. Carnival is paid for. Okay? Everything that they make over there is their money. We don't get any of that. That's their money. That's their money. Now, there's supposed to be some type of an agreement, but we don't know. We're not even concerned about that. No. All we know is that there was a high ticket on that carnival, and we covered it.
We resolved.
We didn't have time to, let's try to take up donations. We didn't do any of that. Right. We went to the multiple companies and we said, okay, what's your ticket? Now there probably are other carnivals out here that was less than them, but they were the only ones that wanted to come to Idlewild to give the Black community, because Black people don't give carnivals. Are you serious? So we paid them their ticket. We paid them their ticket. Now, one other thing, all of the funds go to them.
Yeah.
So if there's no $5 for the parking and no $5 to get in, or no $1 to get in, where are the proceeds to go back to Idlewild going to come from? Right. We are donating all, not 20%, not 50%. We're donating all of the proceeds back to Idlewild. Now, with that project that I just stated, we're looking at a $1.2 million investment in what Idlewild is saying they don't have. Something for the children.
So your plans are to do other projects in Idlewild, not just this carnival.
The projects are already in the makes. Okay. But out of confidentiality, I can't promote all of those now. This is like the carnival. We've been planning this for over a year. Right. But until things got into place, because there were some pushbacks.
I know it was.
There were some pushbacks.
I know. Well, after what you said about the people talking about, we don't do it for Blacks. I can imagine.
Yes,
the hurdles you had to jump and the hoops you had to jump.
You can't even imagine. You can't even imagine, but it's okay. It's okay.
Any of all people can imagine.
I can imagine. Or I can imagine them doing that.
Yeah.
So there were so many things that there were so many forces that were trying not to make this happen, because Baldwin's Trout-A-Rama is every year. Yeah. This is the things that we were hearing. Well, why would there be another carnival when Baldwin has one? But that's not right. Tell me, what does Idlewild get from the Trout-A-Rama?
We don't get shit. We don't get nothing.
There you have it.
I mean, for the last 5 years, to be honest, Trout-A-Rama ain't been nothing.
People who have rental spaces.
But look at the community though. They say they want something. We try to give it to them. Their
I-
own
I-
people
I-
try to give it to them.
What did I just say about support for the community? I just said that. But I had a gentleman that texted me, and he got a question that, would you ever move the carnival closer to Ottawa?
Where?
Yeah, okay.
Where?
Right.
I
The
mean,
township
it-
building.
the difference is this. No, I wouldn't put it on the township at the township building because I want the visual from US10's traffic.
Okay.
Look at all the traffic. So the people that were stopping yesterday, there was a gentleman that pulled up today, a gentleman and a young lady on a Harley. They pulled up because they were just going down the highway.
Yeah.
He came in, pulled out some money, and went over there and bought a handful of wristbands.
Okay.
If it's at the township hall, he wouldn't have seen that.
No.
When it comes to business, business has to make sense. It doesn't make sense to put it at the township hall when there's already apprehension from the township,
Right.
from the board members.
Right.
I mean, we just gonna keep it 100.
Right.
So there was an issue with the fire chief calling me in a very aggressive manner. And I was concerned, like, why are you calling me in this tone?
Right.
Because no one had told him about the carnival. Why hadn't he heard about it? I said, well, first of all,
Was he supposed to hear about
well,
it?
yes, he's the fire chief. That's
Okay.
safety. He's supposed
Okay.
to.
Okay.
So my first statement to him was, first of all, I'm gonna ask you to tone your voice down. I'm gonna ask you to lower that down because you're not gonna talk to me like that.
Was he that rude?
He was extremely rude.
Oh wow.
But it's okay because, like I told him, I need your conversation to be more professional.
Right.
And he was so upset that he hadn't heard about it. And I said, well, let me tell you how I handle my business. I double dot my I's, I double cross my T's always. Okay? And I said, I sat with the township clerk. The township is not new. They've been known about this. I paid for the permit. We're a nonprofit. We weren't even supposed to do that, but I did it anyway.
Right.
Went to the sheriff, went to the I apologize, EMS, dealt with the state, dealt with the health department. I covered every aspect that was supposed to be covered. But at the same time, he calls me and says, why didn't I know about this? I said, well, I just stated to you all of the channels that we took. I said, who was supposed to tell me about you?
Right.
And he says again, well, why didn't I? I said, okay, listen.
But was it your job to inform him, or was it the township job?
That was my question. I didn't know anything about him. If I go to the township, if I go to the board who gives the permit, then I go to the sheriff. And I was there at the sheriff department. And I'm sorry, I even went to the road commission. If no one told me about him, how was I supposed to know? So then I called and he was saying, well, they didn't say this. I said, well, let's cut to the chase because I don't like to do that. I like to get straight down to the business. I got Jackie on the conference call and I asked Jackie, I forgot the gentleman's name, the fire chief on the phone. And he wants to know, why didn't he know about the carnival? She hummed and danced around it like I told her. I said, Jackie, you know me. You know I don't play no games.
Right.
Let's cut to the chase on this.
Right.
I said, this is very serious. This is a big major event. And this should be about safety for the community. You sat in a very important seat. You did not tell me this. She said, oh, yes. I said, what we're not going to be is dishonest.
Right.
And that's what you're being right now. And you know you are. Well, I apologize. I'm sorry. I said, I don't accept your apology. I don't accept your apology, Jackie.
Wow.
To me, this is your job. Because had I did one thing wrong, had I missed a step anywhere, I wouldn't have been able to give a carnival for my community, for my people.
Right.
So there you have it.
Well, I tell you what, all that is dirt. What is it? Dirt under the rug, dust under the rug.
I think it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, same thing. but the carnival's here.
It's here. It's here. That was the push. One of the
You know,
pushbacks.
and like I said, I knew you had to jump over hurdles and through hoops, but it's here,
Yeah.
and that's what I love.
Mhm.
I love because
And I wasn't going to stop.
what do I keep saying?
I wasn't going
The
to stop.
time is for people to do shit.
Right.
Stop talking about what you do and do it. We did it. We bought Boys to Men to Idlewild this summer.
Mhm.
We bought the first annual fireworks to Idlewild this summer.
Mhm.
And it's more stuff coming. You know what I'm
And more
saying?
stuff happened. So much stuff.
But the time is to do shit. And I can argue with you all day. You think it's enough
Enough what?
entertainment for Idlewild?
I didn't.
It ain't
That's
nothing.
not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean, we need to grow at the rate that we're growing.
Yeah.
I think some of the things are getting ahead. Like, and I'm not. And I agree. I love that you're here, and I love the carnival. I'm also speaking for myself and for my projects. I can only do a certain amount of things.
Okay, but that's
You know?
you. You got a bunch
Isn't
of
that-
people. No,
No.
what I'm saying
I'm
is,
saying
don't-
what I'm
I'm not going to stop anybody from doing anything positive or bringing anything positive out of
That's not what
and
I'm
I'm not
saying.
going to ever say, okay, well, that's too much.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying to like talk to each other and focus on priorities. And I'm not saying this is
Well,
not
that's one of the priorities, is bringing shit to Idlewild.
I'm saying you were criticizing the community about not showing up, and I'm just offering one option of what might be going on.
Or is too much going on for them to participate in everything?
I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just
Okay, hold on.
offering
No.
that.
Keep
And
that
so
same thought, because a whole lot of shit been going on this summer.
Right.
Was the community there?
Yes.
When?
You were there, weren't you?
I'm one person of the damn community.
Right.
I'm talking about the community as a whole.
Weren't we laughing last week about how your amazing time at Idlewild this week
Yeah.
and all the events you went to and
Yeah.
how great it is to see
But
all your
out
friends
of
come
all-
back over and over?
Out of all them events that I went to,
Yeah.
it was more out of towners there than people who live here.
Then
Year
what?
around.
Then why do you think they're not here?
Huh?
Then why do you think people are not here?
I have no idea.
Okay. So I was just offering an idea.
And your idea is what?
Is that there's so many things going on and the community is overworked.
Excuse me, Lydia. How the fuck they gonna get overworked when they ain't working on shit? They ain't been into nothing.
Are you kidding me?
Lydia,
What?
what events have you been to that you see a whole bunch of the community there instead of out of towners there?
The event where I'm riding my bike around in the morning and I see everyone out working.
Working where?
On properties, on...
That's at their house.
Not always.
I don't know, man. I don't know what.
Well. In trying to understand what she's saying, because I'm still not clear. But in trying to understand what she's saying is that it would be awesome to communicate with other individuals when we are putting on these events.
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm open to that. But
be
hold
like,
on, let me finish. So, but at the same time is, how do I go about communicating with those individuals, and what am I communicating with them for? Because we needed two things to put this on. We needed labor and we needed money. Are you going to bring labor? Meaning some of those hurdles that we had to jump through, we might not have had to do it. Are you going to put in the work, and are you going to bring the money? This was a very high ticket. It wasn't cheap. So what are we communicating about?
So I'm gonna use this as an example. If I had $1.2 million to put into the community, because it's obvious you did that and that means you care, and I agree.
I love Idlewild.
But what I'm saying is, I would talk to the elders that are here that have been running program like events every summer for the last 40 years and say, is there some goal y'all were trying to reach with these? This is my idea, I really want to do it, do you think this is the best time? And just like have a discussion, that's all I'm saying.
And if they said no, then what?
Then you done with your project?
No, but I'm saying.
But no, I'm asking you because I'm hearing you. I'm trying to get the clarity. So if they said no, this is not the right time, and then what? Because I'm trying to follow your instructions.
Well, then you also have to consider what that means. Because if those are elders of the community and they don't want you to do something, are they going to bring their grandkids?
But okay, but my question was, they said this. I'm following your instruction.
Yeah.
You said talk to the community, talk to the elders. Okay, I go to the elders.
Yeah.
I say, this is we're about to break ground on a $1.2 million project. Mm-hmm. Is this the best time? No. Okay, so then what?
Then at least you've asked and you know what the different results might be. Because
what is our next step?
If that were to happen to me,
but I'm saying, what is the next step?
If that were to happen to me, which has over and over, then you have more awareness. But imagine if they said,
but I don't want awareness. I want the next step though. So if they say no, then what am I supposed to do? What my team and what is the next step?
I want to consider what if they say yes.
But I don't want to consider yes. I want to consider no.
Okay, well,
so if they said no, then what is our next step?
You could move forward with the awareness that you don't have the support of the community.
But we're not asking for the support. We're the ones
bringing. You're not talking about the community.
Then how are you going to make money? Who are you talking about?
Thank you. You should get them on.
I thought we were talking about the community.
You should have got them on.
Okay, Alan says, or Steve says, Danny, we are one community.
We are one community.
And that means
no,
what,
you
though?
always separate it.
I don't separate
with the
nothing.
Community and the out-of-towners.
Because you have to. You have to. It's a separation.
I think.
And when I say separation,
think you should use different words.
Let me clarify myself. When I say the community, right now, the out-of-towners are sticking together more than the community of Idlewild. But hold on, no, let me finish. Okay, the out-of-towners are in the last 5 years. Some of the events that's been going on in Idlewild have been put on by out-of-towners, not the community. You feel what I'm saying?
And then
when the out-of-towners put on the events, the community doesn't come out and support that.
I hear what you're saying, but I think you could use different words. Because
what different words?
What Steve is saying is people who are here seasonally that have been
not the community.
Grew up here.
I don't give a damn.
Are you sure that that's what Steve is saying? I'm sorry.
Are
you sure that's what he's saying?
I'm not done.
But you're trying to speak for him,
right?
And then you just said that he should use better terms. How can we? How can we say how a person should speak?
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
He said, Danny, we are one community. Out-of-towners and in-towners are all one community.
And I can say that because we've talked about it before. And if you would let me finish one statement, I'll continue reciprocating and we can have a conversation. The term community needs to include everyone that steps foot in Idlewild.
No, that's not the community.
That's inaccurate. Danny, there's other terms you can use. Locals, year-rounders.
Okay, locals.
Right.
Same thing. People that live here.
But it's not the same thing to people like Steve. I'm trying to... Everyone that steps foot in Idlewild needs to consider it community because that's how they're going to buy in. and support and care about it. If you tell people that only the people that live here year round matter, that creates a
No, I didn't.
division.
When did he ever say that?
I didn't never say that.
That's what it sounds like you're
But that's
saying.
not-
Okay, well,
but we
don't
can't-
mislead people by saying speaking for me. What I'm saying is, and I say that because I've been here 30 years. I know this ain't no shit I done heard or read about. This is shit I done lived. And our community, I'm not talking about the out of towners. I'm talking about people that live here year round, don't even support their own kind when it comes to different events. It's been a separation between the locals and the out of towners.
Mm-hmm.
That bond that people want the locals and out of town to come together, that might happen, but it might not happen. But for somebody that doesn't reside here year round, you're not part of our community year round. You are visitors. When I say community, I mean that people that live here year round. Jay's zip code is 49642.
Well, I'm trying to let you know that
And
people.
that's what I say as a community.
And that's not a negative.
No,
That's
I'm
a
not
fact.
saying that's negative. That's a fact.
And see, you're only speaking truth, and that's what we should
Right.
do. We should speak truth, and it's not a negative thing. And I understand both sides, because anybody can say I'm an outsider, but I make it very, very clear I'm a native. But
Okay,
but that does not negate the fact that I don't live here either. So she's accurate, and you're accurate
Right.
from both.
Okay,
from both
there
spectrums.
now you added another one.
The ones that's from
No,
here that
let-
doesn't live here
let me
anymore.
point this out. You have your out of towners, you have your natives,
That's right.
and you have your locals.
Now let's keep it real.
You could even
A
say
native,
seasonal.
a native. I take precedence. Well, I'm not gonna say I, because it's not about me. Natives take precedence wholeheartedly. This is where we were born.
There you go.
This is we take precedence. Natives
yeah.
take precedence.
Hey, to me, we're blessed that natives want to come back and do something for Ottawa.
Should be.
Because you got a lot of natives that turn their back and left
And
look at Ottawa and talk shit. Oh,
Yeah.
Ottawa
and this is one of the reasons why, like you said, which I would never agree with, ever. That's not the type of person I am. It's not in my blood. It's not in my nature to have a project, want to do it, go to somebody, and they say, no, that's not going to happen. Let me tell you, that project is going to happen. Now, this is the discrepancy that I have that would be a disservice to the community. So we have individuals that complain about paying $5. I'm
Well,
even going to
before
speak
you-
on allow me
Before
to,
you
I'm
go
sorry.
on, there's comments about
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
community discussion.
Okay, so let's stick with the $5 to get in and $5 to park. Okay, let's stick there. Let's say people didn't want to come because of that. And as you know, like I said to you guys yesterday, the conversation was really redundant to me, because I told you and Monet, I'm going to listen to you guys.
Right.
Okay, well, let's drop it from $5 to $1. I had zero problem with that. No problem at all. But how would you feel? You have grandchildren, correct? How would you feel? The project that's going to go up is going to be like I said, the brick path walk, the summer wishing well, the ice skating rink. It's going to be a full basketball court. There's going to be a food court. We're doing the snowmobiles. We're doing all of those things. You have grandchildren. How would you feel? And I'm going to pose this question to your listeners. How would you guys feel if this big major project came and we put a wrought iron fence around it, because we're renovating the hotel? It's going to be a resort spot. Okay. We own the block on US 10 coming into right at the blinking light. right where the Idlewild plaques are.
Mhm.
So we also own that piece of land. So how would the community, and this is a question for the community as well, so I definitely want the comments, if that project was there and then we put a wrought iron fence around it and none of the Idlewild, nobody in Idlewild or the surrounding communities could use it. The only people that could use it, because we have the skateboarding rink, what you call that thing? The skateboard with all the skateboards. What is that? Skateboarding park?
Skateboard park.
That's coming. So how would the community feel if we put a wrought iron gate around it and nobody in the community could use it except our guests to the hotel? How would that look?
Well, it wouldn't matter.
No.
Oh, it would matter. Oh, it
Because
would
you
matter.
don't have
Oh,
to ask anybody.
no, let's
Because
keep
I'ma
it
tell you
real.
like
Wait. You said who wouldn't have to ask anybody?
You said that.
I'm sorry?
You said you don't ask anybody.
I'm sorry? What are you saying?
But we have a few comments
No, what are you saying?
from the former conversation.
Okay, but let's stick with where we are.
I know, I'm trying to get back to
Okay,
where we were.
but
So Steve said out-of-towners and towners are all one community.
we've already
Which is-
discussed that though.
No, there's more, so I was just
Okay.
getting back to the place mark. That division is perception. He's talking about what y'all were saying. The division between out-of-towners and community. Let me just read it. I have held plenty of events in the summer where all the community showed up and was welcome. And then Alan says, I consider myself seasonal. However, I've been coming up for 62 years. Local, seasonal, and event visitors have different agendas. We all have contributions at the same time.
Right.
And then Steve says, this is a dangerous narrative and is perpetuating the division.
It's always going to be a division. It's always.
What's a dangerous narrative that's perpetuating the division? What is?
It's always going to be a division between the locals and the out-of-towners. That you had never, in my lifetime, it's just like getting rid of racism. You think you got rid of it, but it's still there.
It didn't go anywhere.
And that's like the bond. See, Steve is trying to get the locals and the out-of-towners to bond together. That's okay, they do. You go get some that will bond with you, but as a whole community, that's never going to happen. Because it's always been that way. The locals and the out-of-towners. And shit, I remember as a teenager coming up here, motherfuckers didn't like me because I was from Detroit. I wasn't coming up here. I was coming up here to have a good summer. So that's something we ain't gonna be able to. But look, we got 35 minutes left.
Yep.
We got other shit to talk about.
Yes, Mark.
We enjoy you as a guest.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate you bringing this carnival to Ottawa.
Yes.
And we're looking forward
Yes.
for next year.
Yes. It'll be here.
Maybe be bigger and better.
It's gonna be bigger and better.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be bigger and better. It's just that simple to me. I am ecstatic.
This has been a wonderful year for Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
We got Boys to Men here.
Mm-hmm.
We brought the fireworks. She brought the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
We got the skating party next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got Wings in the Wild coming next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Ottawa is moving forward.
Totally. And there's really big art projects that I've been working on with the community,
Yes.
out-of-towners and locals.
Right. But I'm just glad, and like I say, I'm just like, I love my community.
I love my
and
people.
I do what I can for my community. And I don't agree with everybody in my community.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I would do is try to support
Mm-hmm.
everything in my community that's for Ottawa.
For sure.
Even though I might not get along with that person,
Uh-huh.
or I might have a disagreement with that person. But when it comes to Ottawa, I'm gonna support Ottawa 100%,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever's doing something positive for Ottawa.
And we
Steve
appreciate that.
Steve is further clarifying his narrative, the vernacular
and
of
that's where the perspective comes from on the support. You have to support one another because at the end of the day, and one of the things that we miss is that you may date whites, you may date Latinos, you may date and have friends of Hispanics and Mexicans and everybody else. But at the end of the day, one of our faults is that we don't understand that all we have is each other.
Right.
We don't have any allies.
Right.
Look at that.
What Tupac say is me against the world.
But look at that Alabama brawl video.
Yeah.
I know you guys saw that.
Saw that.
That guy that was walking past, this was in the second part, the guy with the older guy with the blue and white striped shirt. There was that guy looked to be an Asian guy, had nothing to do with it. He was walking by and he immediately punched the older black man. They stick together every other culture and they stick together with each other.
Yeah.
So the only people that we have is us. We don't have anybody other than each other.
But us have to do a little more on supporting us.
But you can't fault people for what they don't know.
No,
there's a reason why we don't support each
Yeah.
other. There is a reason.
Well,
There is a huge reason why we don't support each other, because we were indoctrinated to not to support each other. So I'm not supposed to care enough about Idlewild systematically by design. I'm not supposed to care enough about Idlewild to bring our money here. You're not supposed to care enough about the carnival to have us on your podcast. This is an honor to put it on your podcast. And so at the same time, it's like we were retrained, but we have to get that back. And if we don't do that through communication and love and support, then how can it ever start? We can talk about it all day long. Oh, we got to support each other. But what does that even look like? Just by saying it?
No.
That's just talk. That's cheap. It means absolutely nothing. We do it by what we're doing right here, right now. Communication, transparency, agreeing to disagree, because we didn't agree yesterday.
No.
But at the end of the day, at the end of that conversation, we came to an agreement. We didn't agree, but we came to an agreement. And that's how we have to start.
Right.
That's where we have to start at.
Right. Well, once again, we thank you.
I appreciate
We thank
it.
you for bringing this carnival
Yes.
to Idlewild.
My pleasure.
And if there's any way with any projects that you have coming to Idlewild, you need assistance, and you know you can come to me.
I got you.
I'm the man.
Okay.
No,
And I'm
really.
standing behind the man.
Yeah, because I say that to all my folks that come up here.
I'm standing behind the man.
with-
Any person that earns my support gets my support.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. You know, I love it.
Well, thank you so much.
I love it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. It
It
was
was
a
really
pleasure.
fun.
Thank
was
you
an
for
honor.
sitting down and talking to us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now I got to take a pause for the
A
call.
pause for the cause.
Yeah. I'll be right back, y'all. Oh,
So Steve said the vernacular of out-of-towners versus locals is a false narrative, and that is perpetuating division. It can also enforce confirmation bias. Yes, nerd. Thank you. Oh my gosh, y'all. I wish you were here, Steve. I wish you were here. Oh, well, that was fun. I've never met a Lady Hotep before. But honestly, the carnival looks amazing. I'm going to turn this. Oh, Falang, hey. I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. And you should, if you have time, come out tonight, come tomorrow. Hope you can see that. There's a lot of layers. There's, I will describe, a giant slide, ice cream, funnel cakes, a castle slide, games to get toys. There's a merry-go-round, and there's more that I cannot see that's behind other stuff. So, woo wee, Steve, thanks. BS, yes. Oh my goodness. Is there anything else? I think I just think of it more as I definitely, obviously, there's a difference between someone like me who is just was nerding out, searching the whole world my whole life for a place that I would feel um, like I could be part of a community. And I found even just this idea that Black people had resort towns. Like, I grew up really low income, and I never went on vacation till I left home. And it's been amazing to be here because so many people, both local and seasonal, have been incredible found family members. And yeah, it's all an umbrella of the larger Idaho community. And that's the thing that's been happening since it was created is there were people, that decided, yeah, we'll stay here and hold down the fort. Y'all go make money, hunters and gatherers, and bring that shit back and we'll chill together. I think that's dope. And sometimes people switch places. A lot of people who were born and raised here, Betty Foote, I know, left and worked in and lived in Detroit for quite a while. And then came back, and that also happens. That's what George Thomas tells me all the time. George Thomas is from Atlanta, Georgia. He's an incredible, honestly, world-class painter, sculptor, everything. And Betty Foote introduced me to George Thomas. He immediately felt like this is my new grandpa, because I was always closest to my grandfather when I was little. He was also super creative. He was a bricklayer. Every time I was over, though, he was learning something new. He learned the bass. He would always be putting together something or fixing something, and he was just amazing, and I don't know, our community is amazing, and I always want to be as close to that feeling as possible. It's like what Steve was talking about a few weeks ago about understanding or having a better idea of, like, oh my gosh, that feeling of being safe is like most of the time, most of your life or whatever, is what white people feel most of their lives. And that's why they freak out about a moment where they don't feel it. Marsha's calling. Danny is not with his phone. Hey, Danny! Danny! You gotta call. Marsha, he waved. He threw that shit off. Oh my goodness. They're all chatting over somewhere else. They've left me high and dry, folks. I hope that you enjoyed my rant. That was a big one. I'm going to have to take a nap after this. And this is the thing. I'm not doing it on purpose. When I'm outside hanging out with people, I love it. And a lot of times I'm too tired. And I still love that other people are doing it. I don't want less events. I just want people to coordinate so that we aren't spread too thin. Because a lot of the same local community works their butts off to put all these events together in the background.
All right, I'm back, y'all. Hey, everybody. But anyway, no, she has something she want to announce about an event coming up tomorrow at the carnival.
So didn't want to leave that part out. So for tomorrow being Saturday, performing live at 4 o'clock is rap artist Young Nice.
Yep.
Right? Young Nice is performing live tomorrow. And then we are giving a community birthday party for all of the August birthdays. We're going to give a huge birthday party to celebrate and acknowledge all of the August birthdays. So anyone that has a birthday in August, children with birthdays in August, knows anyone, text their name and their birth date to 810-292-2537. Again, it's 810-292-2537 so that we can acknowledge everybody with the birthday. And then there's a special celebration for Maddie Madison Harper. She's turning 3 years old. We're also giving away 2 5-day, 4-day vacations to the destination of your choice via raffle. The raffle tickets are $10. The vacation start at $1,100. You must buy 2 or more tickets, and we're going to be doing those drawings Saturday and Sunday. So you get to go on a vacation of your choice.
Okay.
And then Sunday the 27th, I'm sorry, the wrap. Yes, that's Saturday. And Sunday at the 27th at 5:30, we're having a 50-year vault drop. Bring anything that you want to put into the vault. We're going to have it lowered into the ground. And then in 50 years, we've already communicated with our attorneys, and everything is being documented for it to be revealed in 50 years, and everybody's going to be commemorated. And then on Sunday at 4 o'clock, it's going to be the second vacation raffle drawing.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm going to get on a ride.
All right. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
We do have to announce that next week is the skating party,
Mm-hmm.
which is next Sunday.
Awesome. Yes,
And-
Mark Watts, Boys
Yeah.
to Men,
Right. And
Danny Henderson.
Wings in a While.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I'm looking forward to that next weekend.
Are you cooking?
No.
Are you judging?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Eating.
Damn.
No, I ain't judging. I ain't cooking. I'm eating.
That's nice.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Alan says, I like seeing more events. For years, it was only Ida Wilder's week. Now you can come up just about any time and something is happening.
and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Have something every weekend.
But I'm saying, like, imagine we also worked on communicating better with each other, so we could be like, whoa, you should talk with Deborah Hugabook, who's working on building a campground in an event space. Or Lindsay, the Lindsays, who also there's a bunch. I'm just saying, in support of a large event with funding
Right.
that could also support other community members. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm excited the carnival is here. Please don't get me wrong.
And I
I'm
mean, so far since we've been here, it's been a lot of cars put in there. You know what I'm saying? So,
what do you mean, Falang? Falang says, darn it, I won't see it in 50 years.
I want either Falang.
See what?
See the 50, the vault they're supposed to be doing
Oh.
and dropping the stuff in there and open it in 50 years.
Why don't we make a 5-year one right now?
Shit, it might not be in. I don't know.
Cut it out. Cut that shit out.
Hey, you know
We're
what?
going to have a 10-year podcast anniversary.
Okay.
I
I
bet
might have to
you.
come to that motherfucker in the wheelchair, but I'll be in that bitch. Hey, I get my wheelchair. That bitch gonna have a cup holder, an ashtray,
Mhm.
and probably a TV.
That would be nice.
Right, right.
I bet you could, at 5 years from now, you could have like a little hovercraft one.
Yeah.
It could
That's
be,
bullshit.
it
Cause you
could
remember,
be controlled with your mind.
well, you're a little young one, but I remember back in my day, people say, "Oh, the year 2000, we're gonna be like the Jetsons. We're gonna be in flying cars." that shit ain't happened yet.
Yeah.
So I don't see no flying cars.
My car feels like a spaceship.
They probably do. They probably do.
Marsha Henderson, me neither. Well, that's what I'm saying is like, what are the things y'all want to do if you feel like your time is limited? Because that's what I honestly think about that all the time. Like, I want you guys having the time of your life. And it's like, so I love the idea that there's a carnival, but nobody's here. And so I'm just thinking, like, what is it that people want?
I tried to figure that out for years.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Marsha says hovercrafts.
Hovercrafts, yeah.
We could work on
Shit,
that.
shit, they got that now.
Yeah, totally.
They got that now.
There are those, those water jet packs?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, is that like
So,
hovercraft enough?
I've seen
Me? Me? No, I want to make sure who you're talking about. Oh shit, they're not saying. They're not saying.
y'all girl.
Yes!
She said what?
You didn't hear it? They
No.
didn't hear you!
I ain't hear what he say.
Mark said.
Okay.
Mark Thomas Jr. said, Danny better be glad he has me because.
Huh?
You better be glad you got me.
Oh, okay.
I know we'll pay for that later.
What did he say, Danny?
I don't know.
Oh shit! You can't even repeat it.
I know he said I better be glad I got Lydia.
That's right.
I am glad I got you.
That's all I wanted to hear.
We're the dynamic duo. Yeah.
Cheers.
You know, hold on. I gotta crack me another beer.
I'm on a cleanse. I'm on the master cleanse this week.
Yeah, she on the master cleaner, but she's sitting there smoking reefer.
Okay, but careful of your cigarette because it's dry
I know.
grass.
I ain't gonna leave it down there that
It's
long.
smoldering.
I already know.
Cheers.
Cheers. But yeah, it's been a hell of a weekend, and I don't know, man. I got different thoughts about different things.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
you know what I'm saying? But I think today I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself and drink my beer.
Okay. I mean, I love you.
No. Let's go back to your. Now, yesterday you went to, what is it, Dr. Shabazz, Miss Shabazz?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So tell us about that thing yesterday and today.
That was really cool and also surprising. There was a lot. I was surprised, and she actually brought it up that she was like, I know everyone expects me to be like really militant because I'm okay, Alan says, unfortunately, most people have spent their time in Idlewild for the other events. The carnival will have to gain its supporters over time. I agree.
It will. It might take a year or two.
Totally. And I'm not trying to criticize it. I know it sounds like it.
No, because a lot of people thought that this carnival was a hoax.
Right.
That it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
So I don't, it happened.
And maybe that's part of what, like, I put it in the side because I was just listening to what everyone was saying, and I was like, well, I don't know.
Right.
But Falang also says, I'm coming to the carnival tomorrow, not going to miss this. Just fell asleep today when I got home from work.
Yeah, you always falling asleep.
But that's what I just said. Falang's tired after work. That's okay.
Right.
And tomorrow's Saturday, right? So there's going to be a ton of people here tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, maybe think about that. Maybe have a couple Saturday Sundays, because there's more people that are off work. And then Alan says most of the glampers only came up for that,
Yeah,
and Ellen, and then same for Idlewild Week.
yeah, and that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. But with the carnival,
Mhm.
over the years, if people know that it's going to happen, then they would look forward to that, and they would plan on coming up that weekend or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's good. But like Alex said, it's going to take a year or two, maybe three,
Mhm.
to fully comprehend that this is an annual event.
Yeah, and I think it would be cool to just get more groups involved, like figure out ways to collaborate with the Baldwin schools and all the youth groups, because there's a lot,
Well, a
you
lot
know,
of youth groups. Well,
in Idlewild. There's
what
like 5, right?
youth groups?
Or like youth, yeah.
No. Only youth group now in Ottawa is Boys to Men.
What about 365?
Who?
365, right?
That's one time a year.
Oh,
That's during Ottawa week.
well, that's deceptive titling.
No, it's not really deceptive because if you've been around here, you know about 365.
I know, but 365 is like the number of days in a year, so you would think like it's every day. And then there's Seeds for Change, right?
Okay. I don't know nothing about Seeds for Change.
Okay.
I don't know about the group 49642.
There's Reading Rainbow.
I don't know nothing about them. Only thing I
They
know about is Boys to Men.
Reading Rainbow put on helped with they collaborated with Mid Michigan Idlewilders
And
to
I'm not
bring
I'm
to
not
bring
talking about groups that come only during Juneteenth. I'm talking about groups that's having activity for the kids throughout the summer.
that's what I'm saying is the 2 groups I just mentioned put on the free breakfast and meet and greet book reading with Dr. Ilyasha Shabazz.
And is going to happen next year too. You don't know.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
Let's find out. Let's support it.
Well, we did. You did.
Yeah.
We went today, but
Yeah.
is it going to happen next year? You don't know that.
I don't know.
Is that an
Do we
annual event?
Do we know for sure the carnival's gonna happen next
Well,
year?
I'm going by what she said. She said, yeah,
Okay.
it's annual.
So you only want annual events, things that
No,
keep
I'm not
happening?
saying I want. No, see, there you go putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm just asking.
I didn't say anything about I want. Yeah, I would love annual events
Okay.
because that gives the people that come here something to come to annually.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying every event got to be annually. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay. Mo says 365 is an Idlewild group. Is that is that, do you mean like it's not just for kids? And then Mo, and then you also said, and then Ellen says that he'd be here now, but he had to return to Nashville.
Oh, okay, Alan. Mo.
And it's okay.
Yeah, Ottawa is 365 is an Ottawa group. They don't put on everything. They don't put on events all year round. They put on events during Ottawa week.
Okay. I saw him at the parade.
Okay, what event did they put on at the parade?
They were in the parade.
Okay, but okay,
That's isn't that a collaborative?
I guess yeah, but like
mean,
I
I don't-
said, 365 don't put in events on to Ottawa week. They might have been in the parade. Okay, 49642 was in the parade. What other events have they put on since the parade?
Mo says, read my comment next. What do you mean?
Right. Mo, 365 is Ottawa group for Ottawa week. Right. I never
okay.
said they wasn't.
Hey, Wani.
Hey, Wana.
I think Mo's correcting me.
Huh? Oh, I don't know, but I know.
No, that makes more sense. Thanks
yeah,
for the
but-
clarification.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean,
So you got your skates ready?
yes.
Shine them up.
I need to dust them off. They've been in
Dust them off.
my motel.
When last time you skated?
Probably like 7 years.
Ooh,
Is that true?
that ain't shit. I ain't skated in 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't skating at that shit. I mean,
You're not gonna do it?
no, I ain't putting on those skates. I ain't going out there and embarrass myself.
I used to skate every week in grad school.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I moved into the basement of of my school illegally, and there was like the perfect floor on the second floor, and every Thursday they had a gallery night.
Okay.
So there were all these.
Right.
I love schedules too.
Well,
I love things that I can like. Yeah, I'm gonna do this every Friday.
right.
Love it.
Right.
Makes me feel like I'm a kid again, and
Right.
I get to hang out with my uncle grandpa.
I'm grandpa. Hey, look. Hey, Shawana. We looking forward to next week. Wings in the Wild. I can taste them wings now.
Hmm I cannot wait, and it's perfect timing because I'll be off my cleanse.
For real?
Yep,
Oh, you
I'm
be-
gonna eat so many wings.
You be able to eat up some shit next week, huh?
It's gonna go down.
Ooh.
I will need to be rolled home.
Huh?
Rolled.
Roll.
A hovercraft would be nice if anyone has one.
Oh.
Comes up with an idea over the week.
Right.
I feel like Mark C could figure that out.
Huh?
I feel like Mark C Pound Cake could figure that
Oh
out.
yeah. Pound cake.
Yep. Wani says my advice to Ilan, cancel the $5 entry and parking fees if she wants support from the community. It's going to be a great time, Danny. I agree.
Yeah. Actually, she did adjust the price. She's still charging $5 for parking, but it's only $1 per person. And since I've been here, I done seen maybe 20 cars pull in here. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's true. It needs some adjusting.
Yeah, but I think the wording, like Cooking in the Wild series, does that really well. They do
Yeah.
the $10 suggested donation.
Right.
A lot of people put in 20s, 50s, hundreds. You know, and some people don't pay that can't pay, and they still get to have a good time.
Right.
So I agree. I think that would be a cool solution, and
Right.
I love that y'all do that.
Yeah.
And then Wings in the Wild. Check out the page Ida Wild in the Wild. Thank you so much for getting that back up there. Y'all, be careful. Be careful.
Right.
Be careful
Oh.
who you share things with,
Oh yeah. Be careful who y'all share shit with.
because there's some nasty ass shenanigans that happen sometimes, and I'm just so glad that Cooking in the Wild is continuing, because it has so much great turnout.
Yeah.
It's such a great vibe. There's nothing that the Wattses can't do, because they're like
Hey,
a great example of a power couple.
there you go.
Yes.
There you go. And they uh they they make shit happen.
Hmm
They don't just talk about it, they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they support.
Yeah. So and the Watts family already know what kind of support they get from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A
That's
total life
that-
commitment.
Yeah. I mean, they got me, man.
Yep, me too. Steve says Cooking in the Wild is a perfect example of a community galvanizing event where the entire community is welcome. I agree.
That might be true.
Hmm
But Steve, once again, we're gonna see. We gonna see at at Wings in the Wild
hmm
how much of the community comes out and supports that.
hmm
That's what I'm talking about. I would love to see the out of towners and the locals to get together and mingle.
hmm
That's cool.
Yeah.
But trying to get them to do that
hmm
is so far is difficult.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. agreed on the locals. What part, Mo? And we have some love bouncing around in there. Wani says, "I'll love y'all
we love your Watts family, man,
so
because
much."
literally, and when I go back, I say out of towners that's in the last 5 years
Yeah,
that done more or brought shit to Ottawa than the locals.
yeah.
That's true.
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
many locals invite the out of towners to their shit?
Mm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, but yeah, and you know the Watts family, we, I say we because I'm part of their family now. They adopted me about 7 years ago.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But and once again, I'm gonna say this again:
Mhm.
the time for talking about shit is over with.
Mhm.
Let's make shit happen.
Yeah.
And so far this year, we made a lot of shit happen.
Yeah. Hey, also, I want to hype our new banner that Danny uh kicked in and got this for us, and my friend Corey, who designed the logo.
Yeah, I like it. But only thing I'm pissed about,
What?
it should have been. I'm gonna get another one made.
What?
I want to be wider.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I like that, and I like the logo.
yeah. But you want
I
the
wanted to be. I wanted. It should have been wider.
yeah. Well, we need to measure this maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's.
Figure
I'm
out.
gonna get another one made, and I'm gonna measure this and see. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we got to
But
start somewhere.
I think it's fly.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll build our travel set. Also, if anyone is a designer out there and wants to
Right.
throw in some
Right.
thoughts, I think that'd be dope. I love building things, so and I
Thank-
love collaborating.
Thank you, Mo. Even though it's not the size I wanted, something is better than nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys can see it. So that's my main thing.
Monty also says the banner is cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Wana, and we see y'all next weekend.
Oh, is it time? Well,
Almost time.
oh yeah, it is.
We got about-
Steve says the community always comes out at this event every year. It is not difficult. Your mindset has to change.
No, man. Let me tell you about my mindset. You know what my mindset is like it is, Steve? Because I live here year round for 22 years. I see more than you see, my brother. I don't fault you, Steve, on anything you say, but I know the community that I live in. You see what you see when you come up here during the summer, and that's not all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not down in my, yeah, I am down in my community because they need to come out and support more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, uh,
And I'm just trying to say the whole world is in an economic depression right now. And like people are working their butts off. And so I I just think it's going to happen, but we need to figure out how to get folks the resources, enough resources that they can rest.
right.
You know?
Well,
Because that's what I grew up is. My parents both worked like 3-4 jobs my whole childhood, and we didn't have the time or money to go on vacation, to go to events, and that's still happening.
Right.
And so if we address those things, like the breakfast this morning for the kids was a great addition, in honor of the Black Panthers who did the free breakfast program.
Right.
It's great. That's the great community thinking, and I'm not saying the carnival is bad. I'm
Okay,
saying,
but you told, and we don't have enough time. But before we go, I don't mean to cut you off. Mo, you were right. It is a difference, and the locals do not feel included. That's true, and that's been going on for years. And I know that because I live here. I know what they say to me, and I know years ago that's how what they felt about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to see the locals
And people tell me,
yeah,
you
I love
know,
to see the
yeah,
locals and the out of towners buying a little more.
yeah.
But the locals feel left out.
Hmm.
Like the out of towners don't want them to include that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now the out of towners is saying, well, the locals should automatically feel that they're welcome. No, you got to make them feel that they're welcome.
Yeah,
Maybe
totally.
we got to do a little more.
Invite people.
Yeah,
Yeah, be
maybe
more
we got to
direct.
do a little more.
And then Phil Ang said, Steve, there definitely is a division between out of towners and locals, but it's only a difference of opinions, and that's mostly it.
Right, you're
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right.
But I just think it could be a step in the right direction to just adjust the words. I
Right.
think words are important,
Right.
and to speak things into existence, to say like we want to all be community. We
Yeah.
want to consider,
Right.
all the people that find the joy in being in Idlewild a part of the community.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I think the summer was really amazing. So, okay, Steve says, how about we hear from some locals on the next podcast? Hey.
And we're gonna do that next week, Steve.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, what's going on next week? Matter of fact, how we do Let's Go Live next week. What's going on next Friday, though? Nothing.
We could find a spot. We could make an event.
And can we change our air date to next Saturday or Sunday
Sure.
and go live at one of the events
Mhm.
where the locals are going to show?
Mhm.
Okay. We're going to put something together for y'all next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love y'all too, Wani. Steve, I love you, brother. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I'll see you next weekend.
Always on time.
And I want to say thank you for everybody that joined us this week.
Yeah. Thanks for the support
Yeah, thanks for the
and getting
support.
behind us.
Right. And we'll see everybody same time, but it might be a different place.
Yeah.
We out.